Hey, folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to take a look at another song by The Warning at Lollapalooza, Argentina. This time we're going to be looking at Quieres. We're pretty well into this one, and we really enjoy it. It's been a fantastic show, what we've seen so far. This is definitely one of the highlights of the tour they just did in South America. For those of you who don't know, we are looking now at Lollapalooza Brazil, that show, over on our Patreon page. Since we can't feature the official stream here, if we run out of Argentina, be sure to go over there. In the meantime, we're looking forward to this. Adrian, do you have any thoughts or recollections about what we've seen?
This is my favorite of the recent shows I've seen.
Yeah, it's awfully good. Yeah, they were really on a roll. Okay, well, let's check it out, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
El hambre que está consumiendo tu interior, sin esfuerzo puedo yo saciar. La sed que te da solo me hace recordar con qué poco yo te puedo dar. Sin fallar, lo que tú puedas necesitar.
Well done, as we've seen so often.
Yeah. Lots of energy. Crowd's going nuts.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, definitely. It's a hit, as usual. We are getting the standard size songs on this particular set of shows. We're not getting any of the extended versions that we saw last year from the Keep Me Fed songs, for example, and for some of the Error songs, too. Maybe it was just to get another song in, since they had a lot of new material to feature at this particular show and, you know, the others, really, from the time. So it makes sense. It makes sense. It's a little disappointing because I've really gotten to love the longer versions, but it's okay, you know. But in general, yeah, they are just killing it at the show. The audience is loving it. It's really good weather. They're not broiling, which is good. They had that issue in Paraguay because it was hot, but it was also humid. They had the sun on them, but I don't think that was as big a factor because it was basically on the horizon. It was just about sundown, but the humidity, I think, was a big deal. They may have had a similar issue in one of the other shows. I don't know. Brazil so far looks okay. Maybe Bogota. Maybe Paraguay was the worst of it. But here they are perfectly comfortable. I'm very glad to see them just knocking everything out of the park. Line them up. There it goes. Yep. Next. So good for them.
I just really enjoy this song. I've talked about the magical quality of a song in another language. And
Yep.
I mean, I watch opera without the subtitles on just to give you an idea. So.
Bon Giovanni. Yes, indeed. Right, Wagner or what have you. All good, all good. Yeah, sometimes it's just good to listen. Hey, one of the things I loved when I was 18 years old, I left and went to Norway for a while. I mean, for several months, hoping to stay, but that's, immigration being what it was. Yeah, one of the things I loved being in Norway was that I did not understand the language most of the time, and yet you could still pretty well understand what people were saying, but more than that, you were relying on other senses to understand the finesse, of how they said things and, what their actual meaning was, what their mood was, those sorts of things. And it's the same thing here. It's really kind of nice, actually. It actually takes a burden off in a way because you're focusing on the other things involved in communication other than direct verbal communication. You might be able to capture a little bit of what they're talking about, but it's really more the attitude, the mood, how it's being put across and how it's being received by its audience. I find those things fascinating. Kind of a similar situation here. Well, folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this? Of course, if you have a favorite from this show that we haven't looked at yet, why don't you tell us what that is, and maybe we'll do that one next. Leave it below. And if you have other suggestions for us, leave those as well. Of course, if you were at the show, tell us about that or any of the shows in South America. We've heard from a number of people, and I really appreciate you sharing your experiences. It just makes it a more full experience for us, looking at it from our Northern Hemisphere seats here. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us today. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care, folks.
See you all later.